Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kojobaka. The Ghana Statistical Service is urging government to maintain fiscal discipline and sustain interventions aimed at stabilizing food prices despite the continued decline in inflation. Ghana's year-on-year inflation rate declined further to 3.3% in February 2026, marking the 14th consecutive monthly drop and the lowest level recorded since 2021 rebasing of the Consumer Price Index. Here is government statistician Dr. Hassan Idrisu.
Inflation today is lower, is narrower, and is more stable compared to a year earlier. What are the key recommendations that we are providing purely from the data? For government, the priority is very clear. Continue to maintain fiscal discipline, stabilize food supply chains, and invest in storage, irrigation, transport, and market access to reduce regional gaps. For businesses, this is a time to improve efficiency, strengthen local supply sourcing, and pass on cost savings to consumers as much as possible. And for households, with inflation easing, there's greater room to plan. Track spending carefully, avoid unnecessary expenses, and build small savings buffers whenever possible.
On the back of that, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry is urging the Bank of Ghana to reduce its policy rate further, citing the country's inflation drop to 3.3% in February. The Chamber believes this is a great opportunity for the central bank to ease monetary policy, arguing that the current 25% policy rate is still high and stifles business growth. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Bedu Abuaji emphasized that cheaper borrowing costs are crucial for the survival of Ghanaian businesses.
Well, I think that over the period, we've seen a consistent drop in the policy rates to a level of 15.5, which shows also as one of the reasons is a drop in inflation. So with the inflation now dropping further, and also a drop in the Ghana reference rates. I think this morning there was an announcement that has dropped from, I think, 14.58 to 11.71, which is very positive for us. So obviously the policy rate, as we have said earlier, is still very high. It's not really aligning to the reduction in the inflation rate, because inflation rate of 3.5 as at that time and 3.5 now. I think the policy rate should drop further significantly to around 10% to ensure that they align. So hopefully when the Monetary Policy Committee meets, I think the next month or so, they will look at the numbers and look at how possibly they can also bring down the policy rate. And once policy rate should go down with the Ghana reference rate also significantly dropping, then lending rates should follow suit. Currently it's around 20-21%, and we're expecting that at least it comes to around 50%. That will give us the relief, the leeway for business.
Away from inflation-related stories, the Petroleum Hub Development Corporation has disclosed government's resolve to pay 900 million cedis as compensation to landowners who would be affected by the establishment of the petroleum hub at the Jomoro in the Western region. Chief Executive Officer of the corporation, Dr. Tony Obin, stated that the corporation is working closely with the government to address compensation issues and secure the necessary land for the project. Here's more from a strategic engagement with CSOs in Accra. Petroleum Hub project, estimated at $60 billion, aims to transform Ghana into a major energy hub in Africa, creating over 700,000 jobs and boosting the country's GDP. The Petroleum Hub Development Corporation is optimistic about resolving all land acquisition issues by June, paving the way for the smooth operationalization of the Petroleum Hub project by the end of the year. Speaking to Joy Business at a strategic engagement with some CSOs in the country, Chief Executive Officer of the Hub, Dr. Tony Obin, stated that government by June will pay close to 900 million cedis as compensation to landowners that would be affected by the establishment of the hub in Jomoro of the Western region.
We are because of the reduction in the size of the land, we have to recompute the figures, but we are looking at around 900 million Ghana cedis. Between 800 and 900 million Ghana cedis. which in dollar terms is $100 million. I've told you that the president himself has asked questions about why that money has not been made available, for which reason my minister is actively trying to resolve any bottleneck that must have been the reason.
How soon will the compensation be done?
I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I can tell you that we are working very hard on this. My minister is, working hard in fashioning a model that can, begin to pay the compensation. You don't need to pay everything at one go, but there should be a model that commits the entity to pay compensation.
He was, however, optimistic about resolving all land acquisition issues by June, paving the way for the smooth takeoff of the Petroleum Hub project by the end of the year.
We found one big challenge, land acquisition. So we are working on the land. We also have to train people, prepare them for the investors who will come. So it's also one of the areas that we are looking at, training people, making them ready and fit for purpose. So these are the two key things that we are looking at. And we've given ourselves internally. And of course, what we do depends on other people. But we, in our dream, we think that by June, we should have gone around the issue of land acquisition.
2026, this year?
Yeah. So that by end of the year, we would have started something. We don't want to go to 2027. We are not saying that we're building the hub in 2026 or 2027. It's a 10-year project or so. But we are thinking that the biggest hurdle, which is land acquisition, would have been crossed before the end of the year.
Some CSOs spoke to JoyBusiness about the significance of the engagement and highlighted the importance of the hub in ensuring sustainable energy security.
Without land, you can't start investment, and most of the conversations that occurred here was about land. So we need a land first. The issue is that we need some resources to be able to procure this land or compensate owners of this land. As a state, if you are committed to ensuring that this particular project comes into fruition, then it means that the government must allocate the needed resources or needed capital.
Now, government is expected to declare 21 coastal communities marine protected areas in a move aimed at preserving Ghana's marine biodiversity and improving fisheries management. Emmanuel Baikwiku reports.
More than 190 countries adopted a 30 by 30 target under Target 3 of the Global Biodiversity Framework, committing to effectively conserve and manage 30% of the world's land, inland waters and oceans by 2030, particularly areas critical for biodiversity and ecosystem services. However, global progress remains slow. Since 2022, international reviews show that the world is off track, with only about 2.9% of the ocean fully or highly protected, far below the 30% target. Ghana, like many other countries, has made limited progress toward meeting this commitment. As part of implementing measures under the framework, some communities along Ghana's coastal lines are expected to be declared marine protected areas. Professor Kwejo Bechi Siedu spoke during the launch of the Save Our Sea campaign organized by the Ghana Agricultural and Rural Development Journalists Association in partnership with the Earth Journalism Network.
We are starting this one by implementing the first marine protected area, which is MPA, and that MPA declaration is going to happen this year. God willing, maybe this month, the president will go and declare the first marine protected area. That's at Greater K3 points in the western region. So from that day, once the president declares that this place is a marine protected area, then there will be no fishing in that area. Okay, the fishing will just go there to go and have their rest, lay their eggs, and then produce. And then they move to the other parts of the ocean where fishers can go and then harvest them.
The training on effective media coverage of marine issues in Ghana equipped journalists with a robust understanding of the global 30 by 30 marine conservation targets. Charles Smith is the country coordinator for Earth Journalism Network.
So the 30 by 30 target touches on achieving 30% of our resources that we have lost, protecting them. And this part of the project is on a 30% with regards to marine resources. So that is why the focus is on marine resources. We have other projects that also looks at the other aspect of the 30 by 30. Now the 30 by 30 is taken from the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, which has 23 targets, and the target 3 looks at that. So that is why the focus is on marine resources and not any other thing.
National President of Gaja, Richmond Frimpong, urged journalists to apply the knowledge and skills gained from the training to produce comprehensive reports on marine issues.
So we expect each journalist, after going through this exclusive training, to able to do a comprehensive future story or reporting on these marine issues. There are a lot of topical issues that emanated from today's training, and I think most of them have been urged to, take action on these topics.
For JoyNews, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Now, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Frank Kofi Pinto, is urging engineering practitioners to uphold the highest professional standards in the discharge of their duties to enhance service delivery and improve the image of the profession. His call comes as the institution joins the global community to mark the 2026 World Engineering Day. More in this report.
The 2026 World Engineering Day celebration brought together engineers, students, and stakeholders to highlight the critical role engineering plays in national development and everyday life. As part of activities marking the day, members of the institution alongside engineering students embarked on a sensitization walk dubbed Know Your Engineer. The initiative also saw participants engage the public on engineering processes, safety standards, and the importance of innovation and digital solutions in building sustainable communities. In an interview, Greater Accra Regional Chairperson of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Frank Kofi Pinto, charged practitioners to remain ethical, competent, and committed to upholding the standards of the profession to maintain public trust.
When practitioners who are not licensed, who are not qualified, indulge themselves in doing certain things, which undermines the profession. It worries, and then people think that the public thinks that it is every engineer who is not doing things right, but that is not the case. So if you look at the Pokwase interchange, the resident engineer is from the Ghana Institution of Engineering. He happens to be a former president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Engineer Bempong. Look at the work he did there. So you can see the amazing work engineers are performing in the country. So if anybody who is not licensed, who is not regulated, who is not qualified to practice as an engineer, carries out certain tasks in the name of engineering and it doesn't go well, it tarnishes the image of the profession.
Chairperson for the Women in Engineering at the institution, Engineer Jane Nakitete Anowi, also used the occasion to encourage more young girls to pursue careers in STEM, particularly engineering, stressing the need for greater female representation in the field.
We are happy that we are celebrating our achievements because over the period, engineering has been a male-dominated field, but then over time there have been progress, increase in numbers, and we even want to use this opportunity also to advocate that more women should come into the field. So as women in engineering, for instance, we do a lot of monitoring of young students who wants to study STEM so that we can guide them to become engineers.
The 2026 World Engineering Day celebration seeks to underscore the importance of innovation-driven engineering solutions in addressing global challenges such as climate change and sustainable infrastructure development.
From one profession to the other, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, ACCA, has reaffirmed its commitment to ethical leadership and professional excellence with the introduction of a new cohort of members into the globally recognized accountancy body. Details in this report.
The Association of Chartered Certified Accountants has officially inducted its latest cohort of members at a prestigious ceremony aimed at fostering ethical leadership and promoting excellence in the accountancy profession. The event brought together seasoned accountants, stakeholders, and policymakers to celebrate this important milestone in the inductees' professional journey. Speaking at the event, chairperson of the ACCA Ghana Network panel, Kalnobo Alose, stated that continuous learning is imperative to improving the practice of accountancy, particularly in an era of rapid technological advancement.
ACCA gives us, ACCA members, a privilege of a borderless qualification. We can work in Ghana as we work in London, or as we work in the United States. And you find many of our members across the world doing very well. It leaves us a very big gate of opportunities and allows us room to improve ourselves, to perform well. And we have systems built in, continuous professional development packages that the organization uses to maintain the standards of its members. And hence, if any member would want to live up to standards, then he should keep up to the continuous learning.
People partner at KPMG, Colette Achujado, urged the new inductees to uphold high ethical standards in the practice of the profession and remain committed to integrity and professionalism.
As you would know, accountants are required to follow a strict code of ethics, which mandates the core principles of integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, and professional behavior. These principles ensure public trust and uphold professional reputation. As ACCA members, you would be required to be custodians of trust. Your signature on a report would carry weight. Your advice in boardrooms would shape decisions. Your integrity will become your most valuable asset. Irrespective of what sector or industry your interests lie, note that the fundamentals of integrity and ethical judgment coexist with you.
The ceremony was held under the theme, Accountancy Redefined, Shaping Future Skills.
Government is stepping up efforts to link professional education to industry to curb the country's unemployment rate. This is also to ensure that industries can meet the growing demand for skilled labor. Deputy Minister for Education, Dr. Clement Apak, gave this remark at the 46th graduation admission ceremony of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Ghana.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, ICAC, has held its 49th graduation and admission ceremony, reaffirming its commitment to professional excellence in accounting and management across West Africa. The ceremony was used to encourage members to uphold integrity and professionalism in their various roles. Speaking on behalf of the Minister for Education, Dr. Clement Apak indicated that government is rolling out several initiatives aimed at promoting diversity in professional education and strengthening skills development across the country.
We are intensifying reforms to strengthen professional education across all sectors. We are expanding technical and vocational education and training pathways to integrate seamlessly with professional certification frameworks. We are strengthening collaboration between universities and industry to ensure that curricula reflect emerging global demands. We are investing in digital learning infrastructure to democratize access to professional programs. And we are embedding ethics, analytical reasoning, and communication skills into curricular reforms because technical knowledge without ethical consciousness is incomplete. Professional education must not only equip you to earn, it must empower you to elevate.
Chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Abnal Sassari, urged the graduates to position themselves for transformation by continuously upgrading their knowledge and competencies.
The world you are entering in is changing rapidly. Technology is transforming the accounting profession. Artificial intelligence, data analytics, automation, and digital finance are redefining the profession. Routine tasks will disappear. Ethical judgment will not. Critical thinking will not, and leadership will not. Therefore, never stop learning. Never stop learning, master technology, stay globally competitive, but serve local needs.
The event saw the admission of more than 100 professionals into various accounting disciplines, whilst others graduated after successfully completing their programs at the institute.
Now, a Court of Appeal judge, Richmond Osei, has urged newly certified alternative dispute resolution practitioners to position themselves as strategic partners in strengthening Ghana's justice ecosystem. Speaking at the graduation ceremony of the Alternative Dispute Resolution Security and Research Institute, he highlighted ADR as a critical mechanism for improving efficiency in dispute resolution and fostering a stable environment essential for business confidence and economic growth. Time now for the commodities update. Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kujo Baka. The Femekwo is next with Prime Sports.